I know that a lot of you guys, when you get started, like one of the first decisions you're going to make is choosing a platform. And there is no, to my knowledge and to my understanding, I'm not aware of any ranking factor that is going to positively help or hurt in any one of these platforms. I think these are probably the three most popular platforms. WordPress, I believe, is the most popular in the world. All right, so what I've got is I've got these kind of like three main platforms here. So we've got WordPress, Weebly, and Duda. Some of you guys aren't Snaps. Snaps, like it's the same as Duda. I would not use Snaps, I would use Duda. Snaps is essentially a white label version of Duda, and you get Duda's support and their backing, and they're a billion, like I think they're a multi-billion-dollar company. And they have a really good reputation. So if you're in that, you may, and you love it, you may, kind of transition. But let's talk about some of the pros and cons of these. So we're going to start off with WordPress. That's my choice. I know that in the beginning, if you're just getting started and you don't like, this is going to open up some more complications that you might not have with some of these other choices. So if you're just getting started, you may want to start off with like Weebly or something and then transition over to here later. With us, we have, as you can see right here, we have like more than 400 sites, and I think I pay $120 a month, somewhere around there. It might be 130 or something. You're not paying on a per site basis. You're paying for hosting. So the hosting, this is like how much space do you need on hosting, right? That's what's going to determine your cost. So this is more scalable. And as you're paying only for hosting. There's a lot of plugins and there's a lot of experts. So there's a ton of knowledge on WordPress because, like I said, I believe it is the most popular one in the world. So there are tons of people. So there's sites like onlinejobs.ph where you can hire people that are experts. This is not like, so this is onlinejobs.ph. So these are people from the Philippines. You can find some like super talented people in there. So, and they're not expensive relative to maybe like the Western world, right? For them, it's a lot of money, but for us, because of the price difference, it's not super expensive to hire them. You can hire someone, maybe between like $4 and $7 an hour. You could find someone that has years and years of experience in WordPress. So that is certainly a way to do it. Is you can have one of them do it when you are. It's my opinion, if there are people like that exist for that rate, then that's not maybe a skill set that you should try to master. That should be one that you hire. So the cons are it's harder to use. There can be security issues. So if you don't keep things updated, you don't stay on top of it. So this is kind of like all blending together. Okay, right? So having a WordPress developer help you, they can fix this issue and you won't have to worry about that one. Okay, so Weebly is cheaper than Duda. It's more expensive than WordPress because you're paying per site per month. The prices can start to add up. I think it's like $8 or $9 per site per month, where I think Duda is 14. So it's a drag and drop builder. It's easier to use. The security is good because as you open things up from a development perspective, like WordPress has, where they're like users can get into the back end and change a lot of things, that creates the possibility for security flaws, right? People are building themes and all this kind of flexibility allows for intruders to come in. So Weebly doesn't have that. So they have better security for the most part, or like it's easier to manage essentially. There are huge sites, e-commerce stuff that's running on WordPress. So don't get it in your head that like I think banks, there's probably banks I think that run on, I mean, there's just like all kinds of people that have chosen WordPress as their platform. So don't just like automatically think that, you can't have good security because there's big sites all over the world that are doing that. As I mentioned, you pay per site, prices can add up. They don't have a lot of like plugins. So like with WordPress, you can get plugins for all kinds of crazy things like shipping, or like, not that we would need it for this, but they have SEO plugins. They just have all this stuff because it's more of an open source community. There's been a ton of developers that have built things out, which make it, which is great for WordPress, but that's kind of limited within Weebly. Duda, I think, is the easiest to build with, and their sites, it's easier to kind of create a more beautiful site. They have more things built in than Duda. Their support's great. The security is great. Like I mentioned, I think they're a multi-billion-dollar company. So they have, they're very well established. This is the most expensive to build with, right? It's $14 a month per site. So that's not good for scale. If you were to look at what we have with over 400 sites, I mean, that like, I can't do the math quick enough, but what is that? Yeah. It's gonna be pretty expensive though per month.